Good morning. I'm John Ellsworth with Success Strategies. I'm the founder of Success Strategies Incorporated and the creator of the Success Strategies Advantage. And I want to welcome you to this presentation today, which I've entitled Throw Me to the Wolves. And actually, you may think that sounds like a crazy title, but it's actually part of a quote from famous playwright and philosopher Seneca, who said, and I quote, "Throw me to the wolves, and I will return leading the pack." End of quote. The last video I did, we talked about inflection points and how they are times of major change. They're changes that alter the entire way we think, the entire way that we act. For example, we look at prices. $1 cheese several months ago, now $2.70 a pound. Prices may be back, but there's some changes going on, so don't be deceived by the market prices. Things are clearly different. Volatility is greater. 30 years ago, you could breed, feed, and milk very good herd of cows, and you'd be able to pay your bills and service your mortgage debt. Now, nobody was necessarily getting rich, but they were building some equity, and the reality is they were able, as I said, to pay their bills and their mortgage. 40 years ago, we had lifetime job security. Unless you're an entire goofball, if you did your job and you did it well, you did it correctly, you'd have lifetime security in your job. But today, all we hear about is corporate restructuring, 10,000 jobs cut at AT&T or whatever company, I'm just using them as an example. Changing job descriptions, a real decrease in loyalty between employers and employees, perhaps in both directions. We are in a time where people are changing careers. You can read about it all the time. And they're changing sometimes to advance their careers, other times out of necessity, both of which can be kind of scary. But in our industry, going back to that, a lot of things have changed. But I still like the wisdom of the Boy Scouts, which said the following, that we must improvise, adapt, and overcome. And I'll say that quote one more time from the Boy Scouts. We must improvise, adapt, and overcome. Some points I'd like you to consider for your operation. Let's talk number one about labor efficiency. I'd mentioned robotic milkers, robotic feeders, and several people go, "Oh my goodness, those are so expensive. They cost so much money." But I'd like you to look at it a little different. Think of them as an investment in your future. If you're going to be in this industry, can you boost your labor efficiency? I can tell you from clients of mine that have robotic milkers, you can lower your labor costs very nicely. I'm not trying to put people out of work. I'm just trying to improve your profitability. The same with feed pushers, robotic feed pushers. That may eliminate some jobs or reposition those people to be more proactive in the roles that they're playing on your operation and make an even bigger contribution. But most importantly, I've seen feed efficiency increase up to 20%. How about on the marketing program side? Prices are high right now, as I just said a few minutes ago, but for how long? Things like the DMC, the Dairy Margin Coverage Program, the DRP, the Dairy Revenue Protection Program, which is one of my favorites, puts a floor under your prices. Now, it's an insurance program, basically. Now, you say, "Oh, that costs money. My gosh, what if we may not use it?" Well, that's all true and that's all fine. But when your house doesn't burn down at the end of the year, you don't call your insurance agent and say, "Gee, I paid you all that money and my house didn't burn down." Of course not. You just don't do that. DRP needs to be looked at the same way. It's an insurance program to put a floor under your milk price. Reproductive efficiency. You need to have pregnancy rates in the 25 to 30% rate consistently. Consider using a double OVSync program. That has worked really well. But the key is to keep your days in milk in the 160 to 165 day range consistently. And yes, I did say consistently, because folks, being 150 days part of the year and 210 days part of the year doesn't cut it. Not anymore. Being at the 160 to 165 days consistently, and I mean consistently through the whole year. That's where the money is. Knowing your break even levels. A lot of people talk about break even milk prices, and that's great. I hope you know that. That's fairly common. But how about on feed costs? How much can we increase or decrease feed costs and still break even? What are the changes, potential changes there? How about milk production levels? Because what if at any given milk price or feed cost, we can somehow squeeze out 5 more pounds of milk per cow per day? That's big. And understanding that will lead you to greater profitability. Now, we all get thrown under the bus sometimes, thrown to the wolves, as Seneca called it, occasionally, but it's just a given today. We have more volatility on milk prices, feed price volatility, overall economic volatility, interest rates, all kinds of things like that. More bank pressure, they want more reports. We need to stay on top of that. They're doing a balancing act of serving your needs as a borrower, but they also have to protect the assets of the bank. The key is how you deal with this. How do you deal with, as Seneca said, being thrown to the wolves? Can you return as a leader? The key is how are you going to deal with this going forward? The volatility will be there, and if I can assist you in any way, please let me know. I wish you the best of success, and I'm John Ellsworth, founder of Success Strategies Incorporated and creator of the Success Strategies Advantage. Thank you very much.